What's up, guys? It's your boy, the hoodlum, Eric Acton, and you're tuning in to the 3 Count Podcast. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are listening to the 3 Count Presents Now Entering the Ring, Studio 22. Yay! Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chaz Evans, and you are listening to Now Entering the Ring. We got Studio 22 in the hot seat, but let's go down the roster. Introducing first, he's my tag team partner. He's the man that runs the show because I'm only a figurehead. He's the Red Dog, Cliff Miller.
All right, new catchphrase. That's it. That's my catchphrase.
And introducing next, he is the 14-time African-American bull wrestling. You know he is. Hide your kids, hide your wife, bare knuckle, brass wearing. You know he puts himself over because he books this shit. Chris Idol.
Oh my God. Always here.
I was doing so good.
That was great.
And introducing next, he's only here because he is my little brother. He doesn't actually watch any wrestling. He just watches What Culture. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is JJ.
I'd like to thank the sidewalks for keeping me off the street. It's a terrible time, and make sure you guys wash your hands, dirty bastards.
If you think that sidewalk thing isn't going to get stolen, oh, man.
That was good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 3 Count Presents Now Entering the Ring. We got Studio 22, Jeremy Grimes and Christopher and Dino. What's up, guys?
How's it going, man?
You're...
Oh, man, I'm excited for you guys to be on the show. We're going to get right down to business. Question number 1 for you guys is, how did you guys get into the wrestling thing? You guys can take turns answering. So, yeah.
Best goes first, so that's you, Jeremy.
That was privilege. All right, so I'm already done with this, okay? If anybody's watching this, which I know a lot of people are, I'm looking for a new tag partner now.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, but about 3 years ago, I went through some serious personal troubles. I ended up losing my job, losing a place to live, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't really have like a calling or anything. I just got done coming back from college in Arizona. I really didn't know what to do, and a buddy hit me up about just coming to train, and I showed up, and like it looked bad. I didn't want to do it. Did it, loved it. And now here we are later with the greatest in-ring performer, Landino Heat.
They're recording. The red light is on now. This is when you PC all of your statements.
Nah, bro.
I ain't the greatest at nothing but being late. I just got into wrestling because I'm Latin, like through and through. So it was just put in front of me, like, as a child, very early. I just thought it was lit. I was like, oh, how do they do that? It was like the closest thing to superheroes that I've ever seen in my life. And then come to find out, like, my dad did it for a little bit, and he boasted it a lot. And then it was just cool to me. And then, shoot, I didn't even realize I've basically been taking bumps since I was 9 because my dad was, like, always, like, doing something with me. They showed me a bunch of pictures I didn't even know existed of me, like, in a ring at, like, 8 and 9 and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't even remember none of this. For all I know, I probably had CTE at, like, 8, 9 years old because, like, I don't remember already being in a ring. Like, I'm seeing all this other stuff. I think I saw me jumping off the second rope. I was like, oh, I was a spot monkey? That's how I know I don't remember none of this. Like, oh, my God. What? Who is that? I'm like, Chris Landino would never. No. If it ain't a fish drop off the first rope, that ain't me. I just thought it was cool. Met some people. They introduced me to a little spot at a little factory where some dudes was getting way too busy, and got in there, stunk up the joint, but everyone told me it didn't stink that bad. I just stayed around, and that was kind of it. And then I stunk up the place enough. Somebody else told me, hey, we know some guys that are like actually professionally training. It's like, how about instead of you losing money, you can actually maybe make some money, but like 2 or 3 years down the line. I was like, okay. And then I met Jeremy, stunk up the joint some more, but for whatever reason, he was like, I think you're great. And then he just decided to put me in his car. And I've been stealing money from promoters ever since. Pretty great. It's been 2.5 years of people paying me to not be good and telling me it was good. So it is what it is.
Well, I guess that answers my second question on how the Studio 22 formed. So he just put you in his car?
Legit. We were at training, and he already had a tag partner. Everybody was doing stuff, and for whatever reason, he was just like, hey man, I really like what you're doing and all this other stuff. And I was just like, why? Just why? And there was this gigantic battle royal / Royal Rumble thing they were doing. This promotion SSW was trying to outdo the greatest Royal Rumble by having, I think they called it the actual greatest Royal Rumble. It wasn't even an original name. And it had like 90 something guys in it. But here's the thing, right?
90 guys and one girl.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? On paper, that sounds terrible, right? This is my first time ever being in like a professional wrestling setting. So when you hear 90 something guys, you're probably thinking, oh, mega cluster. It was the most organized thing I've ever seen in my life. Like in between the ropes, it was the most organized thing I've ever seen with more than 2 human beings in it. And I was thoroughly impressed. Like they, without nobody even noticing, they made sure to keep it within only like 15 guys in the ring. No one could even tell the timing of everyone and stuff like that. The way they like set it up and all this other stuff. It was just like, all right, here people shoot like Drew randomly. And I think I got like spot 60 something or some nonsense like that. It was some like ridiculous number. And then that's what they recommend to everybody, with the exception of the final people and the first people. Find your number, find guys at least 4 or 5 spots ahead of you, 4 or 5 spots under you, coordinate with one of them to eliminate you. If you want to be special, just figure it out between them. There was a guy there who was Drake, Jeremy. I saw this big dude, and I was still doing the Hefe gimmick, and this was a show for autism. It was for kids of muscular dystrophy. So it was like an entire section with children. And I said, hey, I look like a super weirdo Power Ranger guy. Military press me literally in front of all those children. Like, that's how I want you to eliminate me. Scoop me up and drop me on the pavement in front of them and make them all cry and get your heat. Because he was in like the final 6 and stuff. I was like, that's quick heat. I was in there for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, just threw some chops just to get everybody to pop. And then Drake grabbed me, picked me up, and just threw me in front of all those kids, and like 3 of them started crying. And I was like, yes. That's all I needed. And then and there was like this little like baseball team there, and their coach was Spanish, and he was like, yeah, come here and sign these kids' autographs. I was like, I've never even practiced autographing. So there's a bunch of kids out there that have a pamphlet from that show, and in the dark corner, I blatantly put in the dark corner so they couldn't see it because it was so bad. All these kids have a really shitty Jefe Santos signature in the corner of their pamphlets, like 6 or 7 kids. It's going to be worth $0, so kids, you can throw them out.
I disagree.
It's not going to be worth anything.
Disagree there. Yeah, that's how he got in the car, but he's leaving out how he got part of the tag team, which I think is a lot better of a story. So we drove up to
giving you opportunity to talk, man.
SCWA. My man's looking like Montel Williams with a turtleneck and dress pants on, and I blew my knee out like 2 weeks prior.
I stole the shirt and the pants from a referee and an announcer.
That's not relevant to the story.
It is.
It's
They're
not.
wearing my clothes. Don't make people think I just randomly own a turtleneck.
And
like,
there's
XL,
photos
like,
that
referee Black
I'll
Pants. I don't
attach in the
own these things.
comments of,
True.
Montel Williams. But
That's crazy.
I blew my knee out like 2 weeks prior because I had a tag partner that we're not going to speak of. He was, But I was looking around for new tag partners, taking applications. We get up to the show. It's like a 4-hour drive. So we're all tired. We don't want to be there. No offense. We really didn't want to be there. We might draw like 30 people. And I wasn't really thrilled with my match that I was in. And obviously, I just blew my knee out 2 weeks ago. I'm just honoring the booking. Stupid, green. Don't do this at home. So I go out there and I'm having a little bit of a match. I'm like, all right, they're going to have you get taken out. Have someone be a doctor. So we had him be the doctor, but then I was like, even better, let's just have him be my director. That way it makes more sense of him taking me out. I was like, he can go out there and manage, get himself over, and then he can carry me to the back afterwards. And I'll ask the director, Christopher Andino.
Oh, man. Well, that's like a match made in heaven then.
Yeah. I wasn't getting booked at all as Jefe. The second those pictures went up of me looking like the world's brokest Black Steve Jobs, all of a sudden it's, hey, why didn't you introduce me to this character first? Maybe we could have talked about something. So I had about 6 different messages to promoters and of me trying to get booked and them leaving me on red. And then as soon as those pictures go up, those same 6 ping, 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 ping. Yeah, it hurt my feelings. They probably thought that they were about to give me a compliment, like, hey, we saw this new character and we think it's great. I'm like, hey, it was a one-time thing. I have no gear for that guy. So yeah, so that's probably why there's going to be a bunch of pictures of all the first director matches where it just looks like Jefe without the mask, because that's all the gear I had. until Jeremy gave me some of his tights that he didn't use that just says Hollywood legends never die. I was like, I would say that obnoxiously out loud. I'm like, I'm not from Hollywood. I've never been to California, but you know what? Let's do it anyway. And then I got a little smarter and realized that the director should be from Broadway. And then I got smarter and realized I was like, the director shouldn't be a director at all. He should be a con artist, and the director thing should be his con. And so here we are. So I just had to evolve it to stick with Jeremy, because Jeremy was like, everyone loves the director. I was like, the director's dumb. They just haven't met Jefe yet. I was like, trust me, it'll get over. And then Jeremy was like, but how would we be a tag team? Jefe and Jeremy would never be a tag team. I'm like, fine. And then I retired my mask and cried about it for 3 days listening to Drake. It's hard times, man.
Yeah,
everybody else thought the tag team was great. I'm sitting there in the cut crying like, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. That's funny. I'm just thinking about, you said it's supposed to be a con art. The director's a con artist, and I'm like, yo, it's like the casting couch kind of deal. It's awesome.
I might do a promo like that. Just randomly have people sitting on my couch. Hey Cliff, we might have to pull up and get some stuff done.
So
how
old are you?
Yeah. Oh, 18? Do you have a license? Do you have an ID for that? No, I don't. I can't take that chance now.
I wanna get a bodyguard, because I have a lot of
wrestling
friends that are planning on going through training that are of big size, and they don't know what they want to do yet. So I was like, dude, we could bring you around and you could just be my bodyguard. So I wanted to probably do something where I audition a bunch of people that aren't big, and to have them audition to be my bodyguard. But now you're giving me new ideas. I'm about to ask them all their sizes, but it's gonna be all their sizes of mass. But I'm just gonna word it to where it sounds mad raunchy. I'm like, so what's your bust size? But it's clearly just this big, massive dude with a very impressive chest. Hey, what size underwear do you wear? What's going on with your glutes? Do you work legs? Do you mind if I see?
Yeah.
It's so awkward.
All right, so here's a question for you guys. What's been your highlight so far as Studio 22?
We have highlights?
Yeah, do we have highlights? No, you know what? I enjoy any match that I have that I'm able to do as Studio 22. I prefer tag team wrestling, less bumps than over singles wrestling. But what do you got, Chris? Because I
thought it was cool when we did that Survivor Series match, and for whatever reason, they thought it was a good idea to let me be the sole survivor. What a terrible call.
That was really good. That, you know what? We debuted a lot of new stuff that night. It was a packed house.
I just thought it was cool because of the celebration you decided to have. So Jeremy gets eliminated, and it's me and two other guys. And instead of going to the back like everyone else, Jeremy decides to get behind our gimmick table, which is still out in front of everyone. And he's sitting there. I'm doing my work, and I keep noticing him in the cut. He's still selling, mind you, but he just looks hilariously out of place. So it threw me off maybe once or twice, and then I got stiffed, and it just brought me back into the match. I was literally just sitting there like I'm in the middle of a headlock, like, what are you doing, Jeremy? And then he went for some kind of cross. I had no idea what he was trying to hit me with, but I just remember, bitch, you better watch like how you touch me, like. And then I immediately remembered, oh yeah, I'm in a wrestling match. I just stopped staring at Jeremy like a weirdo. And then as soon as we finished the match, Jeremy from all the way back there runs around the crowd. These people are like 4 or 5 rows back, like. So he runs all the way around, comes back over from the entrance, slides into the ring. It probably was your best in-ring slide ever, by the way. Slides in the ring, covers about like 3 hard inches when he slides in, like just smooth edge, just slides in and just tackles me like as if I wasn't in the ring longer than everyone else. I don't even know if he knew he did it, but he shouldered me in the face so hard when he went to hug me. And there's a picture of me just kind of like this. Jeremy has his arms wrapped around me and he's behind me. And I look like I died on Boys in the Hood. Jeremy's just sitting there holding me, and I look dead. And everyone thinks, "Oh man, you must have got weirded out by that match." I'm like, "No, Jeremy was choking me. His arms were wrapped around my neck so hard. He's really sitting there. He's got his legs on me, like he's having a full body triangle at some point. Like he legit has me like if he could have been the UFC welterweight champion whenever he wanted right there. Like he just had me set up like, yeah, tap, buddy, you ain't going nowhere. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'm trying to like sell the celebration. So I'm sitting there with one finger up, like, we did it, we did it. And Jeremy just sitting there, so survivor, baby. I'm like, please get off me. I'm begging you. Please, I'm begging you. Like, oh my god. So yeah, I guess probably because it was one of the larger crowds we did shit in front of. So, and it was one of the actual first times in front of that Pennsylvania crowd that I got to do my shit. So all of a sudden, Pennsylvania realized, oh, Chris Landino kind of can wrestle. I can't, but so that, I guess.
I also enjoy just this past, what was it, December, we wrestled at West Virginia in our first ever like tag team hardcore match.
Oh, and yeah, let's not talk about that. That hurt.
The whole thing was we spent the whole morning like going to like Goodwills and like different like thrift shops trying to find stuff to like literally just beat the shit out of each other with. And we're going through this Goodwill and he stops me and goes, yo, I found a skateboard helmet. And I'm like, what you gonna do with a skateboard helmet? Headbutt somebody? He goes, yeah, Crispin Wall style. I was like, that's not gonna work. He goes, watch, it's gonna work. I'm gonna talk to him. So we get there and like the whole time I'm just ragging. I'm like, yo, it's not gonna work. Nobody's gonna take it.
Chaz got the right shirt for what we ended up doing.
I'll get to that. I go, yeah, he wants to do a Crispin Wall headbutt with this skateboard helmet on. They were like, nah, have him do the Dudley Boys. What's that? And I'm like, and now he's looking at me the entire match and before going, hey, you know what spot's next, right?
When we got closer and closer to me going under the ring to pull out the helmet, I'm like, we're 2 spots away, brother. And then it was like, after this spot, what's the next spot, brother? Like, I just kept going.
Legos.
Oh, the Legos sucked. We took dual back body drops onto the Legos, And so there are trainers Legos. Cliff, you've seen them. So these big blocks have so much wear and tear on them. They have been used for probably every single sickened Riot City Rules / deathmatch ever. And you know, Nick is the world's oldest 30-year-old, so like he has at least 3 death matches a month. Like that's legit. Like he has at least 2 or 3 a month. And he has a designated trash bag for these big blocks. They've become so. If it's like, you know, like if you're seeing a Dudley Boys match, a table's gonna happen. For Nick is literally like, if I'm in a match, we're using big blocks. So these big blocks have betrayed this man so many times. He has yet to buy a new pack of them. And for whatever stupid reason, I trusted Jeremy to Nick, hey Nick, can we use your big blocks for our match? And he's sitting there like, oh, absolutely. Like he's thrilled to let us use them. He's thrilled for these big blocks to break off someone else's spine for once. We take the back body drops. And mind you, I don't love my handstand bumps. Cliff, you know this. I decide today I could take a handstand bump like nobody. I plant my hands on Ish's back and I get sky. I look over to my left, Jeremy's getting sky. And I'm like, well, that's supposed to happen. He's got a great handstand bump. Why am I up here with you? That's when I got scared because I realized, wow, he'll get this kind of height all the time. I'm up here with him. That means I'm up that high as well. It was like one of 2 things. Either Jeremy got off a terrible handstand bump or I got off a really good one. I hope it's the first one. Nope, it was the second one. We get up high. The crowd collectively inhales. And we hit these big blocks. So many of them decided to break. So many. One broke off in my ass. Like it's yeah, they
Yeah, we were pulling them out of our arms.
Everyone,
elbows.
when we get to the back and I'm limping and I'm holding my butt cheek, everyone's thinking, you know, oh, you know, he's being a worker. And I think Nick said, oh, you could stop selling. And literally it was plink. I was like, I wasn't. And now my gear has like a hole on the butt cheek. And then I take them off and somebody tells me, yo, 2 more inches to the left, it would have been your crack. So, and I look, and the hole is literally right next to the seam line.
Oh.
Like, it was so bad. Jeremy takes off his shirt, and it looks like, you know, he had an aggressive night with a woman. Like, it was bad, yo. Like, I was like, damn. And I was like, I remember sitting there, I was like, hey, Nick, man, are we hardcore now, bro? Like it was so bad. And he was like, yeah, I do 3 of those. I was like, great, I don't. Now I feel like a bitch. Sounds good.
Well, I was going to ask you, where is your favorite promotion to wrestle?
I think me and Jeremy have different answers.
Mine is OneCW in Houston, Delaware. They always draw great. They bring in excellent tag team names, and every time we've been there, we've been put up against excellent tag teams.
That's right.
The old
Kiss ass
Boys.
so we can get booked better. Keep going.
Yeah, that's right. You already know.
But
seriously, if you're looking for good wrestling in the Delaware area, OneCW is the way to go. I mean, we love everywhere we wrestle for, though. You know, we wrestle here in Maryland for EWA, West Virginia, EPPW. And Dino, would you like to chime in?
Well, since we're trying to get booked good, you already covered us because we're going to be doing the Chapel Cup for OneCW. EWA, you know, they're debuting us in a 4-way tag title match,
which we are going to win.
I also thoroughly love the Fight Pro crowd, you know, out in DC.
Which respond to my DMs.
I want my rematch. You know, so hopefully when this drops, you know, I'll be your Chocolate City champion, and me and Jeremy will have 2 other tag belts. It'll be lit, and also hopefully the promoters don't want us to keep the titles on us because I hate luggage and I hate championship titles.
They are really heavy.
I don't care about them being heavy. I really just don't like them.
I'm watching Dino, and I don't want to be good.
No, I wish you could be a champion without actual physical titles. What happened to
give
trophies?
it back to him.
What happened to trophies?
I just want a participation trophy.
I'm
there. You're carrying
If I
the
could
match.
just have a
let me get
trophy,
something.
bring it home with me. It stays in my house. I don't have to bring it around and, hey, everyone, look, I'm like, I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Then
So-
everyone keeps wanting to have bigger and heavier belts. That's another issue I have.
Yeah, I can see that being an issue.
Yeah, man. I already gotta have clothes in this bag. Now you want me to put like a 10-pound I don't want man.
So the last question is something for guys who are trying to break into the business. Like, how do you guys promote yourself, and like, what advice do you have for guys who are coming up?
Social media is key. You gotta watch what you post constantly. You can't be out there on your worker page talking politics, talking anything like that it could get you negative backlash.
People do it anyway.
You want to constantly promote yourself, get yourself over. Like if you hear someone talking about wrestling, be like, hey, I do professional wrestling around here. You don't have to spend $80 for floor seats to go see Seth Rollins. You can come see me at EWA or something like that. So it's all about how you put yourself out there and really just the drive and determination.
I just take advantage of the fact that I'm in an interracial tag team, so you have to book us. Like, if you don't, you're racist. Like, think about it. There's so many tag teams that the guys are either related, they grew up together. So if they grew up together, that means they were in the same neighborhood. And if they're in the same neighborhood, 9 times out of 10, they're of the same ethnicity. Like, so, if Cliff tags with Jeremy and they told you they both grew up in Hagerstown, you're going to believe it. If Chaz and Justin tag, y'all got the same hairstyle right now. They're gonna. If you decide to team up with your brother, it's gonna be like, well, of course. But now you see me and Jeremy, and it's just like, oh wait, how did these two get together? Oh, you have interest. You have to book us now. It's too late. Yep. And then people find out that our fee isn't obnoxious because we don't think too highly of ourselves. But yeah, I'm not gonna go. Oh, I did this spot on this thing or on this thing or on look, man. We'll start here. If you think I'm that good to give me more money, thanks. I'm not gonna say no either. Just not a hot dog. Just not a hot dog.
Just not a hot dog.
I need a form of payment. I have to travel. I have to eat. And damn it, I'm trying to do this forever. So yeah, you gotta give me $1 at least. If you don't start with a dollar bill, and you tell me something like, "Oh, the exposure," you're gonna get left on scene because most of these are on Facebook, and for Facebook, it's not read, it's seen. So. Yeah, you're going to see my little face bubble on the side of your last message, and that's the last thing you're going to see from me. If a promoter doesn't say, so let's discuss fees, I'm like, oh, I guess you don't want to discuss anything else. Okay, I understand. It's okay.
I think what he's trying to say is quality over quantity.
Yeah, I got yelled at for preferring quantity one time by an unnamed source who actually cares about me, so I won't make it sound like he's a bad person, but he flat out he also shares my first name, so I guess that'll kind of give it out. But yeah, he was just like, stop doing all these little baby ass shows. I understand that you're trying to get out there, but over time, those quality shows will pay off. It doesn't matter that you work 16 times in 1 month if you did it in front of 16 people all 16 times. Especially when 13 of those 16 people go to all those other 16 shows, so who's new? So, yeah.
All right, so who are some tag teams out there that you guys haven't worked with that you're looking forward to working?
This is a Jeremy question and a Jeremy question alone.
I mean,
let me just go first because I'm going to give a very dull answer. I've said this on Twitter a bunch of times. I genuinely, truly, wholeheartedly have no such thing as a dream match. I don't mean it in like a douchey way. I just mean it in an honest way of I want to perform, period. I genuinely could care less. JJ, if you have a license and you are across from me and the promoter said, hey, you two squash match, he kills you. JJ, I'm going to try to make you look as fantastic as possible. That is what was put on the piece of paper. That is what I'm going to do. That is it. My job is to be a cog. I am not the engineer. I am not the... No. My job is professional wrestler. I'm here to do the professional wrestling thing. Whether it's... who do you want to face? The Gymnasty Boys. Who else does Jeremy want to wrestle?
Am I allowed to say him now?
The Gymnasty Boys.
asked.
The Gymnasty Boys.
Yes, we want the Gymnasty Boys. We want the
he
ugly
wants
ducklings.
to wrestle the Gymnasty Boys.
I want the old Bay
so
Boys
bad.
again. Give me Dog Nation.
The truth is, Jeremy wants to.
It is.
Jeremy wants to wrestle every tag team that is hosted by a black man and a white man.
And hey, Mike Bennett, I heard you're just recently a free agent again, so let's get Matt Taven, get the Kingdom together, and we'll give you that waxing too.
See, I don't know about waxing. I think we'll get waxed. I think like every other human being with a heartbeat, Jeremy will get distracted by Maria. I am a taken man. I am a taken man and a man of God. I will keep my eyes on the prize the entire time. Jeremy is gonna be a dog and look at Maria, and he's gonna get rolled up 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna lose the match. And that's just how it's gonna get booked, and it'll make sense. You know, Matt Taven will hit me with some ridiculous move that'll drop me on my forehead, and I'll be out for about 37 seconds. Jeremy will look at Maria for 3 seconds too many, and Mike Bennett will hit him with the cleanest roll up ever. And,
the cleanest.
And it'll be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and we met Mike Bennett, and he was a very nice man, and we spent more time talking about the New England Patriots than we ever did about wrestling. And yeah, he's a very nice guy. So I'm not gonna say anything bad about Mike Bennett. Even
nothing bad about Mike Bennett. He's a great guy.
Sure, we're gonna wax him. Nah, hey Mike, you're a great guy.
Hey, Matt Taven is also one of my favorite people.
I love your new non-essential worker shirts. Those are brilliant. Good for you. And his daughter and his kid is super cute on Instagram. So yeah.
So what's the hardest part about being a tag team wrestler?
Agreeing.
He doesn't like anything. I send him tons of matches, tons of moves, things that we could do, t-shirt ideas. Yeah, they all right. Yeah, that's cool.
See, notice he said I don't like anything, but when he imitates me, he can't imitate me saying a negative thing. He just said I said they are. Is that a bad thing?
No, it's not. That's technically a form of agreeing.
So yeah, what the problem is, Jeremy wants me to share excitement through text message.
No. Not always.
I don't know how to express excitement through a text message.
Look, man, bro. Just throw in the exclamation point at the end.
But I'm not yelling.
I'm not
yelling. I'm not yelling.
All caps, exclamation point. That's how we do.
When we're watching wrestling, or I'll send you something, and then we'll talk about it. And like, how about the other day whenever I told you about that move on FaceTime and you sat there and this is the response. Ready? Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
No other reaction.
Also, you're leaving out a very actually important detail. I was at work.
You can't smile at work? What, you work in hell?
I don't smile often in general. I have a natural face. I cannot control these things.
To be upset about.
I'm not upset. I said it was cool. This is a genuine argument we're having, and they're still recording. What is happening? And recently on the 3 Count podcast, Studio 22 breaks up before COVID does. Jesus Christ, man. COVID beat us. Look at that, man. Shit. It's a damn shame. We lost to something orchestrated by Donald Trump. How dare you let me lose to something by the Orange Man? Hey, you can keep that. I have no problem attaching my name to Donald Trump slander. I'm Latin. I'm supposed to hate him. He called us all Mexican drug dealers.
This message is brought to you by Studio 22.
No, 100%. 100%. This could be the clip. Proud.
All right, my last question for you guys. Now, typically you'll get asked, what's the best match you've ever had? But I want to know, what's the worst match you've ever had?
So we had a match. It was actually our first match this year in January.
I agree with you.
We're not going to say the names of our opponents.
No, we can say them. We can say them. Because they know them. It was Tyrone and Greg, guys.
No, it wasn't Tyrone and Greg.
That's my answer.
Oh, no. Mine's SSW.
It was Tyrone and Greg, and it was Tyrone and Greg because we forgot everything that we were going to do. We went into it so confidently because we trained together, and we're like, oh, we know each other's movements, that. Me and Tyrone have had matches together where we literally don't discuss the match, and we're talking about what we're going to do after the match. So me and Tyrone are like, all right, let's just you and me. So what happened was, point blank period, the alignment was booked incorrectly. They thought it was a better idea to book me and Jeremy as the good guys and Tyrone and Greg as the bad guys. Problem number one. Me and Jeremy are better at being bad guys than them. Not to say that they're bad at it. We're just better at it. Tyrone comes out dressed as a basketball player and is super slender. When you work heel, you're going to get the majority of the offense in. I have now adapted a very chubby-esque build. Jeremy is a well-stacked cruiserweight. Well, whereas on the other end, it is Greg and Greg as all of the weight on that tag team. So realistically, when they're supposed to be the heels, so you're just asking Greg to get all the offense and Tyrone be there. No. Tyrone also is extremely good at taking shit. He's a porn star. He's just fantastic at getting beat the hell up. He's good at what he's good at. He also has an amazing springboard. He also is really good at getting the crowd to feel bad for him because he's 125 pounds, soaking wet with 2 bricks in each of his basketball short pockets. So realistically, why the dog hell are we being booked as the good guys? The 2 guys with a actor and director gimmick. We're supposed to be douchebags. So that was issue number 1. Issue number 2 was we clearly got lost in the middle of the match. And the match got brought around by the end because the finish was really dope. But also we were told that this crowd wants to be told a story. They're not here for the spotty stuff. Meanwhile, about 2/3 of our match was booked to be spotty because it's 4 guys who are actual friends. We're just wanting to have some fun. It's our first match of the year. Let's just go out there and do some stupid shit. And then we get told, oh, whatever you do, don't wrestle like such and such and such because, this crowd isn't here for that. Our finish was very spotty. Do you want to know the only part that the crowd reacted for? Yeah. The spotty ass finish. In the beginning, we're trying to tell a story, brother. We're trying to work a wrist lock, brother. They couldn't give 2 shits. So the first portion of our match that was really well orchestrated between me and Greg and some good heat between Jeremy and Tyrone just fell. They just from the low, you could drop your pen and be this close to the ground and you would have still heard that pen. They were so bored with us. And Jeremy was doing this cool wrist lock stuff and they were just like, ooh. Ooh. Greg did this thing where he looked like the world's fastest big dude and he even deadlifted Jeremy at one point and then they were just kind of like, They didn't give a shit. And then in the middle, Tyrone goes for an up and over. I catch him with a cutter. I throw Tyrone onto Jeremy. Jeremy freaking scoop slams them. Fucking Jeremy jumps off somebody and freaking hits a Rana and Greg goes all the way out the ring. I big last ride bomb Tyrone, bring him back up. Jeremy kicks him in the mouth and then we get into a pin and they're sitting there like, oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Now all of a sudden they're thrilled. And then it's 1, 2, 3. Oh, so I picked the matchup to end it? Wow, what a tease. So it was just a crowd of a bunch of people that basically just saw the world's greatest blowjob and no sex. It was really bad.
I gotta disagree. I think our worst match was 2 weeks prior whenever the guy told me he could take a spike, a Kalisto spike Rana.
Oh, that wasn't a match. That's maybe why I forgot that match.
Oh, that's a match.
That felt like a segment to me, but go ahead.
I mean, then that's the worst segment we were in this year.
What's 5 minutes in a wrestling in wrestling? To me, that's a segment. If it doesn't go past 5 minutes, can you call it?
Oh, it's the DS. It's the DS.
What's a DS?
The drizzle shits.
Well, we went out there, did our entrance. We did a bit of a match that then got thrown out because a team we were feuding with came out and ended the match. Didn't have a finish. Doesn't sound like a match to me. That feels like a segment. It was just the in-between parts where we were supposed to do wrestling. It was just bad because a guy couldn't take a Rana. But, you know, I don't see how something that involves... So, if y'all watch wrestling enough, tag match starts. It's about 2 minutes in. All of a sudden, a different team comes out, breaks it up, and continues to invoke their feud with the tag team champions. Is that a match to you, or is that a segment?
That's a segment.
That's literally what happened. With the exception of the in-between match stuff that was really poor because this guy couldn't take a very simple Rana from
I'll just be honest with you. I forgot the finish because I was pissed after he couldn't take it.
Yeah, remember, we ended up having to do that thing with Mike and Skyler. And then we ended their match later in the night with the chair stuff. They didn't have a match either.
Yeah, you're right.
If they said that was their worst match, I'm like, that's a cop-out. It's not even a match.
My worst match this year was Goldberg versus The Fiend.
You weren't in that. You weren't in that.
I was invested. Until Goldberg came out.
No comment. I might meet Goldberg and I have no issue with him, so I don't want to get shoulder checked by him. I saw
Just
what happened,
bro.
I don't need someone with a salt and pepper chin hair to tell me don't call me bro.
Sure thing, bro.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna say, hey, what's up, boss? I'm not your boss. Look, man, I'm sorry. I would just apologize. Some fights ain't worth it, man. So what if you could beat his ass? What do you win?
The fight.
Alright.
That's what you want.
Yeah, and then you're gonna get buried because he makes more money than you. You won the fight though.
But he's like 5'7".
Huh?
He's like 5'7".
Who's 5'7"?
Goldberg.
You're 5'7".
I'm 5'9".
5'9" with your boots on, man. Next question.
I'm 5'11" with my boots on.
Next question.
Alrighty.
Next question.
All right. Here we go. Next question. What the 3 count listeners want to know about Studio 22 is what drives you? What motivates you guys to get up out your bed and wrestle?
I'm gonna give you an
Yes.
enthusiastic answer only because I appreciate your enthusiastic question.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you.
It's so weird seeing you with a mustache, by the way. But I was telling Cliff before y'all got here. I was like, I forgot Chaz had a brother, and I forgot he had a name. Like, I just remember Chaz has a little brother that be there sometimes. Like, that was it. Be a better wrestler than my dad was, which I think I already did because my dad's wrestling career didn't even happen for real. So, haha, suck it, Dad. That's about it. My dad, he wrestled for about 2 years. Broke his back in a very weird situation. Wasn't even in a match. My dad was a 3-sport athlete while also wrestling. And because he fucking was wrestling in Puerto Rico, they didn't care that he was 16 years old. But also he was built like a grown man at 16. So he's 16, 17 years old, already with a year and a half under him in wrestling. Broke his back in a football game. And my mom was about to have my sister. And so it was, hey, buckle down and make some money doing this or continue your wrestling dream. And my dad decided to be a good father and concern himself with my mother being pregnant and said, no, I'm going to stop wrestling, and focused on getting his CDL and then taking my mom to America where the more opportunities and a free education, and decided to raise us properly and shit.
You sound so upset.
My parents got divorced. My mom moved to Maryland because all her family was here, not New York. And my dad, instead of just staying in New York and paying child support and never being around, he said, I'm going to move to Maryland because I want to be around my children. The fuck?
What a terrible guy.
Just a cunt, right?
What an ass.
And then when I tell him, hey, Dad, I think I'm going to try to be a wrestler like you, he goes, no, buddy, I want you to be a better wrestler and a human being than I ever was. Like as if he was some kind of terrible human being. My dad has never seen a jail cell in his life. He's been pulled over to be told that a tail light was out. My dad hasn't even gotten a strike on his license. Like, which is why I'm so glad to put my insurance under his name, because I'm going to be paying nothing under insurance because he had the world's cleanest like record behind the wheel. And but my goal was always to just, there's not enough representation for people that look and talk like me in wrestling. I fell in love with The Rock because he had slick hair and had my skin tone. And then I found out he was Samoan and realized, wow, I really have no representation in front of this damn screen when it comes to this in between the ropes thing. And then they give me No Way Jose, but they make him a shuck and jiver. And I was very offended. And I was even more offended because he really can wrestle. So I was just like, so the first time you put a Dominican on your screen, he shuck and jives and throws baseball punches. Wow. So that's all we are to you. We have an Olympic basketball team. Y'all suck. Like, I'm just offended. So I really, I know it'll never happen, but my very unattainable goal is to be Spanish John Cena. That's about it. I'm just tired of the TV screen having everybody that looks like Jeremy. Like, why can't they look like me? Like, that's about it. They all look like you.
I just want to wrestle around the world. That's it.
Jeremy wants to see the world. I'm like, I want to see the wrestling ring in this new country and then go home. That's what I'm petrified about. When me and Jeremy end up having to do tours, he's going to want to, like, use our extra days to, like, go explore these places we've never been. I'm going to want to stay in my room. True story. Whenever we do a show where we'll be there for more than one day, I bring my PlayStation and I stay in my hotel room. I don't leave my hotel room. Jeremy wants to, like, go out. Yo, you want to go check out I got Crash Team Racing right here. I'm good, bro. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't want to do none of that, bro. Yo, we're about to go see the town. Check out this one famous spot. Yo, I'm trying to get this time relic. Gucci. No. No, thank you.
Let's see. What were you guys' worst bumps that you've ever taken? Like the worst bump ever? Got you thinking.
Nah, that was going. Yeah.
Besides the Lego bump, I took a pedigree once and the guy didn't let go of my arms, so I
no!
Right on my head. And I'm pretty sure it gave me one of my C words. And I lost the championship that night too, so it was a little insult to injury to lose to Triple H.
I love losing belts.
In spirit, he's always burying everybody.
I love losing belts so much. Nothing feels better than congratulating someone on their title win. The worst bump was, y'all saw it, the one with Billy. And it was because of things that were so unexpected. The beach chair, well, for people who haven't seen it, Billy, even though he lost a significant amount of weight, is by no sense of the word a small man. Not to say he's big. You can't call him that no more. He lost so much weight, he can't use his old gear anymore. So
wow.
He gets on a ladder. I wanted a bigger ladder. This is my spot, by the way. So it's always funny when the spot that you wanted is the one that fucks you up. So it's like, haha, that's what you get, you moron. But I thought it would be a great idea for this Falls Count Somewhere match. I said, we're going to be the only match that doesn't just have wrestling stuff. That's why if you watch the match back, we did little to no wrestling. I did 2 neck breakers, the last wrestling moves in that match. That was the beginning of the match. I'm on a beach chair that was my girlfriend's beach chair, because we couldn't find a steel chair, which is insane that I couldn't find a steel chair at a wrestling event. But I couldn't find a steel chair at a wrestling event. Remember that my girlfriend keeps an irrelevant beach chair in her trunk. And I said, hey, do you actually care about that beach chair? She said, I've just been trying to figure out when I'm going to throw it out. I said, I got the perfect way to throw it out now. There's a dumpster here, and once they clean everything out, it'll get thrown in that dumpster, and we don't have to take it home. She was like, do whatever you want with it. She was like, wait, what are you going to do with it? I said, enjoy the show. So I'm seated in the chair. He goes to about the middle of the ladder. I really wish he would have went higher, but I understood for safety purposes, don't. Also, we weren't allowed to scratch up the floor, which I think was a bit, why would you have that kind of match then if we couldn't damage the building? But we managed to not. So he jumps off. He hits me with the bodega press, which is a Thez press, and he makes it a point to cradle basket the back of my head. I didn't even think about the back of my head. So he decides to just be the world's greatest human being and palm my beam and takes the straight floor into his knuckles to protect my head. But what we didn't anticipate was me not falling flat back, and my butt bone met the floor before any other part of my body. That's not the worst part. Both of the chair poles on the ends that were shoulder length to me then proceeded to stab me in both of the back of my shoulder. The one on the left side decided to really get in there, and probably because Billy was leaning more on his right because he was grabbing my head, so his right, my left. So now permanently I have a nice little circle mark behind my shoulder. So yeah, it hurt a lot. I still had an anime convention to enjoy that weekend. When I got back to my hotel room and took my shirt off, I had 3 people assist me in rubbing off the dead skin around it, alcoholing it, wiping it down, putting something on it, and then I proceeded to get incredibly drunk at a party. It's lit. But then when all the alcohol and the painkillers and all that good shit wore off, I woke up the next morning like it hurts. Like sitting like this was like impossible. So every time I'm sitting, I'm like leaning to my right. Like I don't even want to put any kind of anything on my left side of my body at all. It was rough. Yeah, so that was my worst bump. Thanks, Billy. I'm really happy that you're the world's longest Chocolate City champion with no championship matches. It's not your fault. Fuck COVID. Also, congratulations to every world champion or any championship holder that is now the longest reigning champion at their promotion because of COVID. And also congratulations to everyone who won a title who was intended to be the transitional champion, who now has at least 30 plus days on their title reign. Could you imagine being told, hey, you're going to win this belt to help transition it to this guy because we can't have babyface versus babyface, and then COVID happens? And now you just got to sit there with the belt and cut promos and keep it relevant? Oh, that'd be the worst for me. I'd be so angry if we won a belt and COVID happened. Now I got to keep this.
That did happen.
It did. And aren't we the world's longest reigning SSW tag champions at like 200?
That's something that we'll have to fact check, but I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure we're at like 219 or some shit. We're at some 2 number. I want them to take them back so bad.
All right, my last question. Can you name top 3 tag teams? Just in your opinion, your top 3 tag teams.
And the independents of all time, or
of all time?
Of all time. Go ahead, Jeremy. I mean, I have an answer. First. I'll go first. My bad. You lead. Sorry, I'm letting you lead. Go. The Dudley Boys are the greatest tag team in the world. Second would be. My answer number 1 is always easy because I always think of the Dudley Boys because of bias and just in general. The Rock and Roll Express, probably. And then third, trying to think of a universal team. I don't just want to say, oh, they did great in just the WWE. No, you gotta be like you gotta have done stuff everywhere to be on my list. Well, if I go off that, then I feel like it should be, well, now especially, it's the Guns. It's the Motor City Machine Guns, wouldn't it be? They've done shit in the States. They've done shit on foreign territory. Like, you could ask a Mexican fan, a Japanese fan, a European fan, an American fan. They all know who they are, and they've probably won a belt in their country. Like, all the same shit you could say about 3D, you would have to say about the Guns. So, like, and there's so many teams that are clearly inspired by them. So, Yeah, no, it's the guns. It has to be the guns. I know everybody's probably gonna give me shit for not saying the Hardy Boys and Christian and Edge. And I'm like, Edge and Christian were two singles wrestlers that were really good tag wrestlers. The Hardy Boys did it big just in the United States. I mean, no offense, they're all fantastic, but the Hardy Boys did great just in the United States of America. We gotta just be real. And everything that they ever did outside of the States was during tours still with the same company. They were fantastic on the biggest level, but what about everywhere else? Like, to me, that stuff counts. Like, I don't want to be the biggest WWE wrestler. It's just me. And you can't use all time if you're only talking about one place. Like, that makes no sense. Like, unless the best go there, like, if the WWE was the NBA of wrestling, that's one thing. But it's not. It's just the most known wrestling company.
Yeah.
So, gotta be fair.
All right,
maybe I made it easier for Jeremy.
I got two of the same. The Motor City Machine Guns are my favorite tag team of all time, so they're gonna be top 3. The Dudley Boys, yes, but I mean, we'll go a little bit modern. I gotta say the Young Bucks. Like, the Young Bucks have done it everywhere. They're still young. I mean, if you talk about tag team wrestling, they're one of the tag teams you think of. So.
Pretty good list.
I know Idol thinks otherwise.
What you doing?
He thinks they're spot.
Nothing. I know how me and Justin feel about that, so I'm gonna let you rock.
And he's gone on record on this show numerous times degrading the Young Bucks.
Oh, has he?
Oh yeah.
I gotta say I have.
Well, you and me have had this conversation like offline. That's why I'm just kind of like, well, I know I don't really gotta go into it. Nah, you know my feelings towards it. They're great, but you know, they're great. I won't say nothing else. I'm trying to work at AEW. It'd be cool to be on TNT, so I'll just say they're great. Like, they're paying people a lot of good money. So, you know, the Young Bucks are fantastic, and I understand why Jeremy feels that way. That's my comment. Quote me directly right there.
Alrighty, guys. So,
matter of fact, go back. One of my dream matches is actually the Young Bucks. Oh man, I would love to take 70 super kicks and catch them for about 30 dives. I'll catch them safely though. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna play a game. All right, so you guys are our legit first tag team on the 3 count. So instead of playing the rapid question fire, we're gonna do a first thought that comes to mind, and I'm gonna name a bunch of tag teams. Okay.
We like Backstreet Boys. Love to.
So
I love the
Backstreet Boys as well.
3 count.
All right, guys. So first thought that comes to mind when the team of Undisputed Era. First thought.
Talented.
Go Bobby Fish. New York, stand up. I'm biased.
Kyle O'Reilly.
I love all things New York, so I love Bobby Fish. I love this TV title run. It was inspiring. And then when I found out that he didn't come for his match because his wife was in the hospital pregnant, I was like, oh, and he's the man? Yeah, what a guy. So, yeah. Go Bobby Fish is my answer.
All right. Midnight Express.
Jim Cornette is loud.
Jim Cornette.
I won't say anything bad about him because I want to earn the right to get blocked by him. So Jim Cornette is very good at being loud. So there's that.
All right. The New Day.
Kofi Kingston should have more than one WWE title run.
Big E should have had a championship run by now.
Black Privilege.
Tyrone.
Who the hell is Tyrone?
No. I want to say something that me and Chris had a conversation about. Kazama. Tyrone will eventually put weight on his body. No. This actually goes for the Gymnasty Boys. Sweet Lou, he was a gymnast and then put on all that weight and can still do all these amazing gymnast stuff. Y'all have seen how ridiculously athletic Tyrone's little skinny ass body is. When Tyrone finds the weight for all of those hamburgers that he eats, his body will retain the information of being this fucking athletic. So just understand, one day Tyrone will be 230 pounds and will still move like Tyrone. And you just have to keep that in mind. Like, he's like a high school basketball prospect. Like, he's great now, and then holy shit, now he's 7 foot tall too. Like, he's not done growing as a human being at all. He might fuck around and gain 2 more inches in height. And wrestling loves them a tall guy. So imagine one day Tyrone could be 6'5", 230, legitimately. Like, and he'll still be able to have the world's longest and tallest and highest up and over and the cleanest springboard on this side of the town. Like, so with black privilege, I'd say, Greg, don't get left behind. Like, is really what I would say. Like, because there's a reason why I keep Tyrone close. So I'm just waiting for him to rocket ship off because I'm hanging on to those coattails, baby. I think Jeremy lost fucking service wherever he was driving.
Yeah, we lost Jeremy. So, well, then looks like you got a solo interview, kid. So
that's all. I know what he'll say. He'll just say a bunch of nice things about me and make everyone sound like they're fantastic human beings when they're terrible people. I can fill in for Jeremy just fine.
Next tag team, the Dark Order.
I feel like everyone's giving them way too much shit. I've seen, I was introduced to them as the Super Smash Brothers, so I'm aware of like how fucking great in ring they are, just from like a fan's perspective. The gimmick is weird, so I understand. The gimmick is weird, but where it counts, they're some of the best. Like, just do a little bit of homework and see what they did with some of everyone's favorite tag teams that they put over way too aggressively. And I promise you, those same guys will only have good things to say about Uno and Grayson. So I just have to be fair. I've never seen a bad Dark Order match or Super Smash Brothers match. So I still hold them to that Super Smash Brothers level. But the gimmick is weird, so I understand the hate.
Riot City.
Just happened. Oh, there we go. I did something with my screen. Wait, why did I turn it? I flipped it.
The screen.
Why did I flip it? Ah, okay. My bad. Yeah, I was just looking at the inside of my hand for 2 seconds. Well, Nick is my trainer, so I won't have anything bad to say about my trainer. Vic is great. He helped me out with a lot of stuff, like a lot of like weird intangibles that people don't think about. And also, I'm going to be Spanish biased and put Vic over. Matt Wild knows what to do with what he has, and that's very important in wrestling because he has a very he's short, but he's very stocky. He's built like White Taz, so when you have handicaps, I think it takes a certain kind of intelligence to use it well. So, I'll say he's a very intelligent man. Logan is absolutely fantastic, and there's a reason why EWA pushes him to the absolute furthest planet humanly possible. When I saw that he beat Adam Cole's EWA Cruiserweight title reign record, I was like, who else? So I think when it comes to Logan, it's just a matter of flip to your TV screen soon enough and you'll see him. So, yeah. So I got nothing bad to say about anybody on Riot City. Also, all the women attached to them are hot.
It's always a plus. DX.
I like Triple H's DX better. Triple H's DX gave me the feud between the Nation and them, and I feel like Triple H and The Rock's Intercontinental title matches are some of the best matches that nobody talks about.
Thanks.
So I have to love that version of DX because it gave me The Rock versus Triple H, which is my favorite Rock and Triple H feud. Everyone else is going to say Rock and Austin and Triple H and probably Undertaker or Shawn even, and I strongly disagree, and I feel like put some respect on Rock versus Triple H's name.
All right. Jurassic Express.
I agree with why don't they take advantage of the fact that Jungle Boy is why am I forgetting his name all of a sudden when I was just watching him on Riverdale? But I think they should take advantage of his famous dad. They take advantage of all this other real shit all the time. And also he's a superstar. I think that my issue with Jurassic Express is break them up. They're all have the ability to do something really cool singles. Marco could be the next Spike Dudley. That's not a bad thing. Jungle Boy can be your top fucking guy if you build him right. And Luchasaurus is already dope. It's like, so my thing about Jurassic Express is, why is there a Jurassic Express? Like, break them all up and do shit with them because they're all super great. So, that's my thing.
And last but not least, Studio 22.
In a perfect world, Studio 22 would have been Jeremy and Kurt and myself. Kurt decided to pursue his music career, which is totally fine. He gave us a dope ass theme song that we're gonna debut, but COVID happened. So in my perfect world, Studio 22 would have been a trio. I would have been a singles wrestler, while Jeremy and Kurt would have been a very cooperative tag team, or we could have mixed and mingled it as many times as possible. Happy accident, because I don't think in any situation were me and Jeremy supposed to even be a tag team. I was booked by my trainer and everyone else to be a tag team with Tyrone, and then Greg wasn't getting anything, and then they put Greg and Tyrone together, and then they just worked. And then the part of the story that Jeremy left out of me being introduced as the director was, I got booked, and then I got taken off the card in a matter of 2 minutes, because it was supposed to be me and Tyrone doing something, and then it was, no, we're going to do Tyrone and Greg doing something. So then I ended up having to sit in the locker room watching college football. And I was okay with it because I didn't care. And then Jeremy was like, no, we're going to do this. We're going to figure something out. I'm not about to have you out here doing nothing. And the director thing was fun. Then they had me be his manager. And then we started doing more training. And then all of a sudden, to his opinion, I was a very talented in-ring worker. And then they decided to put us in a tag match. And truth be told, I just used Jeremy like how I used to use Javay. And then all of a sudden it worked. Jeremy just wrestles like Javay, except he throws kicks instead of elbows. That's the truth. And they both ironically have the same initials. And at the time that I met them both, they both were ironically dating a girl named Rachel. Not on purpose, just a happy accident. They're both 5'9" guys that heavily use their wrestling with the square button. They throw strikes. And then all of a sudden it was, okay, so let me just figure out how to do this and then incorporate a Jeremy kick instead of a Javay elbow. And then all of a sudden, Jeremy felt very enthusiastic about us being a tag team, which is weird because I've always been in the team where I was the more enthused guy, believe it or not. So being in a tag team with someone so happy to team with me is weird as hell. So happy accident is what I would call it. And my dad likes Jeremy, so that's a plus. Because my dad likes everyone, but he wants me to stay with Jeremy. He was like, don't break that up. I'm like, but what about me being like a great singles wrestler? He's like, no, you should stay together. You guys are good. I'm like, oh shit. So like you could put away your selfish needs of having me be some like glorified like world champion. He was like, I love the tag team. I'm like, oh shit. Good for Jeremy. I might never betray him on TV. I will. You know how many times we've been booked to break up and I am the one telling them no? Not that he's not saying no. That sounded so bad. I made it sound like Jeremy's like, cool, let's do it. But no, we've been booked to break up 4 different times just last year alone. And in the beginning of this year, we were booked to break up by the same people again. And we told them, no, we actually want to get paid less to team together as opposed to getting paid individually for more. That's another thing they don't tell you. A lot of times, starting off, you could charge someone $50 for you, but if you charge them for you and your guy, then they'll probably assume, okay, so $10 more, right? When realistically, what you just said is now I'm $30 instead of $50. But no, I'll take that. I'll take that every time. I feel like I want to wait. I think it'll be lit if me and Jeremy can be a tag team that has been wrestling up and down the roads every single day. I've seen each other, It's going to be a part of my wedding at this point now. Carrie has left me no choice. Apparently, he has to be my groomsman. I don't know how I'm going to explain that to one of my groomsmen, that my tag partner that has only been here for 2 years, and while you've been here for 10 years, you gotta go. But apparently that has to happen. Because even though Carrie isn't in the business, she understands that if I have a picture of Jeremy at my wedding, a part of my groomsmen, and then when I inevitably betray him on WWE or AEW or whatever company that'll give us that kind of money, hopefully Japan, but it'll just hit different when you see a picture of Jeremy at my wedding supporting my life and then me hitting him in the back of the head with a steel chair.
Facts.
So yeah, Carrie's thinking about my future, and it's like, no, Jeremy has to be in a part of your wedding. He can't just be there. I'm like, why? She was like, because didn't you say you're gonna betray him? It'll hit different. Like, so she thought ahead. So when that inevitably happens, that means I have to give Carrie another check. So yeah, awesome.
Well,
I'm making all of this money for my girlfriend.
Facts. Well, I want to say thank you, Andino, and well, Jeremy. He was
The ghost of Jeremy.
The ghost of Jeremy, yeah. For being on our show today. It was probably one of the most funniest episodes we've ever had so far. So thank you for that.
Fam, I didn't even know y'all had a podcast, and I feel so bad.
Oh well, then now you know. You gotta catch up on all
I know,
the
right?
shenanigans.
I'm like, you said episodes. I'm like, oh shit. I figured because like when I got in there, Cliff handled everything so professionally. I'm like, either Cliff just knows what he wants to do, or they've been doing this for a long time and I just don't pay attention. But like, don't take no offense, Cliff. They'll tell you they've known me longer. I don't know about shit unless you bring it to my face.
That's that's so true.
Yeah,
I'm not offended at all.
I have a 6-year-old niece, and I maybe only know her first name. I don't know anything about her unless my sister tells me. I didn't know she goes to school over like where I live, because all of a sudden it was, hey, can you pick up Nyla? I'm like, y'all live in Baltimore. She's like, but she goes to school in Montgomery County. I'm like, news to me. It's like she's been going there she's in the 2nd grade. I was like, if it wasn't brought to my attention, she would have just been going to school down the street, and I just wouldn't have known about it. I don't know shit unless you bring it to me.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Money in the Bank was. I didn't even know Money in the Bank was today until somebody asked me, "Hey, what's your network password again?" Because like 9 people have my WWE Network account. So many people have all my streaming services that I don't use, and they use way more than me. I got on my Netflix yesterday and saw like all these things that apparently I'm watching, and I'm like, I don't care about Blue Bloods. What do you mean I'm on episode 37 and all this bullshit? I don't know shit, Cliff.
No, like it's funny because like I said, we started this back in like January, and we had a debut episode actually.
So many months ago.
Yeah, but we had this debut. Well, in retrospect, I mean, it's been like 6 months. We had a debut episode on. Yeah, we started our debut episode on. We started our debut in Franken culture actually, and then as I progressed over to 3 count, this like solely became like the project. And so like you said, like
I stole him from Franken culture. I stole him.
And then so like I'll text people and I'm just like, hey, do you want to be on the podcast? And legit like was trying to book guests, and all of a sudden like as I was training with Nick, like all of a sudden I started making these other connections, and everybody was like, yeah, I'll come on. I was like, oh. And I put up and the funny thing, like to kind of like give a real quick story, I put up a post on Facebook and I was like, hey, does anybody want to be on the podcast that we have? And lo and behold, man, all of a sudden I looked at my daughter and I looked back and I was like, it's gonna be like ping. It's gonna be 2 people care, don't worry. All of a sudden it was like
you know what's worse? You know what's worse about that? Anytime I see any of my friends post something and it starts with, hey, check out this or support this, I don't even look at it and I just share it. I wouldn't be surprised if you look through your shares and I shared like 7 or 8 3 count things. And I learned about this podcast when you messaged me about getting on the podcast. And I probably shared clips and all kinds of shit, stuff that probably don't even agree with my views. And I was just like, these are my friends. I like these guys. Share. Look, everyone. Meanwhile, I'm in the background like, I have no idea what I'm hitting the share button. And I probably should start looking because of all the things we just discussed about. All it takes is for one thing to go viral and everything that's attached to your name. So for all I know, I've shared some wild stuff with somebody's name on it that I'm friends with. And I was just like, oh, well, that's my guy, share. And it's probably something like Obama's is a terrorist, and I'm just like, hey guys, check out my friend. Meanwhile, he's sitting there and he's got the emoji of the dude pissing on Barack Obama, calling him a terrorist, and he's got a Hussein beard, and there's gonna be my name. Like, love that guy. Like, so bad. I really should start looking. Another thing, straight up, just to end it on a positive note, if it wasn't for me seeing a Twitter picture, Chaz, I didn't know you were about to be a dad. I'm happy for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
If I just randomly, I'm just looking at my timeline and I just see a picture of Brianna with the belly, and I was like, oh, well, good for them. Like, I was just like, and I'm just, but it's like a belly at this point. I'm like, okay, she's clearly months in.
Yeah, she's due in July.
Fuck. We're in May. So yeah, that's how late I am to the party. She's 2 months shy of popping, and I'm just now. Congrats on finding out you're pregnant. Like, oh, sweet baby Jesus! I be finding out about people breaking up and getting together all late. So like, if I see somebody in the street, you know how many times in the street I've been like, "Hey, so how's insert the wrong name because something bad happened between them, and now it's awkward every time." Often. So now for me, it's always, hey, how's the family? and that's going to get bad one day because someone's going to have a shit story about breaking up with their family. That's going to happen eventually. Someone's going to have a really bad mom story attached to, hey, how's your family?
Yikes.
And it'll be all my fault. And it'll be just because I wasn't trying to like ask too many questions. And then I fucked around and asked too many questions. I got to find a new way to say hi to people and not give a shit.
Like, what's up, bro?
Yeah, but sup, bro, is so like, because then they're going to ask you about your life.
Yeah.
And then you have to pretend to care about your own personal life. Like, because I hate telling people how I'm doing because then you sound so in your own head. Well, actually, as a matter of fact, buddy, I'm doing the same thing as the last time you saw me. Like, ain't nothing really special happened. I got older. There's more gray hairs on my head. My little brother's going to be a grown man the next time I blink. I don't know. I don't know. Next time I see a clip of the 3 count, JJ's going to be bigger than Chaz. It's insane. That's how time works. You just blink and new shit happens.
Right.
Shit is stupid. I'm going to blink and I'm going to be congratulating Justin for a baby soon enough. Watch.
Justin 2020. That's all we got to say. Justin 2020.
I don't know about that. I don't know about 2020.
Dog, every time I hear about somebody getting pregnant, I get jealous. I've been trying to ruin Carrie's life for so long. And it's just, oh my God, bro. Congratulations, Carrie. She's about to get her degree, blah, blah, blah. You know, she's been focusing on her school shit.
Yeah.
She's been really attentive to her birth control and everything like that, man. I've tried everything to get rid of them things. Cliff, I set up a briefing between myself and the mirror to like figure out how to like maneuver around her and like getting my hands on her birth control to like put a damn Milano baby in her. Because I'm trying to get that tax return money for some good gear, damn it. I'll get $5,000 just for putting a baby in someone. You know how good $5,000 gear would be?
Yeah.
That's my future if I put that $5,000 in some gear. You crazy? I need this baby. Like, well, I just need one. Find out my motherfuckers having their second baby, their third baby, all this other shit. All these people keep popping out these non-cute babies.
Damn.
I just can't have one little cute baby. Like, my baby's impossible to be ugly, by the way. Carrie's a cute white girl. I'm a subpar looking black man. You mix those two things together, it's going to be a cute baby that looks like her with my skin tone. Undefeated. That combination is undefeated. Jay-Z's baby looks like him, and somehow Blue Ivy's cute, but she looks like Jay-Z. You know how hard that is? If you take a good-looking woman and a subpar-looking man, the child always looks good. So, Chaz, your baby's going to be cute. I'm happy.
Right. I was just going to say, I was like, I'm in luck then.
He probably sitting there to cut listening to like,
yeah,
I've never seen that combination fail. Yes. Oh my God! Watch 2 years down the line, Chaz's baby's gonna be a Huggies baby. Like, hey, he said, had to make some money off it. Like, Man,
I already got gear inspired, ready to go.
fam, just remember when you put down on your W-2, you have a dependent now, damn it.
Yep.
You get your monies on that tax return. Oh man, don't let her get that tax return. Women always make more money than men on tax returns. That's the shit they don't tell you.
Oh yeah, that's fact.
You as the man in y'all's relationship, unless y'all getting married, you put the fucking. Are y'all getting married?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're engaged.
Put a ring on it.
We're engaged. Yep.
Oh, wait a minute.
You're engaged?
Yeah, he put a ring on it. He put a ring on it the Christmas. He put it
on Christmas Day. Yeah, on Christmas. Yeah,
Was it Christmas Day or was it
I've
Christmas
been,
Eve?
I've been calling her
it was Christmas Day. Yeah.
I've been
It was
calling her
Christmas
your
Day.
girlfriend this entire time. Correct me.
No,
No,
man, you late to the party.
Yeah, you know.
No.
I just assume you late to the party. That's all.
You're gonna get in trouble though. There's gonna be evidence of you allowing someone to call her your girlfriend.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Guess what? This part of the 3 counts not even gonna be aired. I'm definitely editing half of this up because I was supposed to sign off like at least 5 minutes ago.
Dog.
Hey, let him get the sign off. Let him get the sign off, and then we'll kill it. That way you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, okay. So we signing off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chaz Evans here with Studio 22, Chris Landino, and the ghost of Jeremy Grimes. Here with Red Dog Cliff Miller, Chris Idol, and my little brother JJ. We've had a blast, and I gotta sign off. When you hear this, guess what? There's like 5-10 minutes that's been cut out of this. So, yeah. Catch us next time on the 3 count.
Oh my god.
Hey guys, it's the icon Chaz Evans here with the 3 count. If you like this clip that you just seen, make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms. It's Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook it, Photo Bucket, all that. And talk about it. Talk about what you've seen. Talk about what you heard. And if you like us a lot, how about you go check us out on all your streaming platforms and make sure to listen to 3 count. Icon out.